Thursday, 20th week in ordinary time of the year, August 21st, 2025, Pope Pius X, a memorial. Today's first reading introduces Jephthah after our encounter with Abimelech, one of Gideon's sons and illegitimate son of Gideon. Jephthah made enormous progress securing and covering much ground for the Israelites. Again, words are essential and they have powerful effects and consequences. It could be used for a blessing or a curse. Jephthah made a promise to God and was bound by his promise words. God delivered him from his adversaries, but Jephthah's promise will come to haunt him as he met his only daughter when he returned. King Herod, in his lust, witnessed the same fate with Herodias, his daughter, that caused John the Baptist his life. Words have power and consequences. It is important to choose words carefully and not speak out of impulse and sentiment that one great and better. Jephthah is the last judge we will see before we move on from the judges. Poor daughter, I always said, I've always felt bad for his daughter and thought it was overambitious of Jephthah to make such a promise, knowing or not knowing what the result might be. I wasn't expecting a cat or a dog to open the door and start running down to greet him on his return. Or was he thinking one of his servants would show up? He was great and a good soldier, but I was never comfortable with the passage because of its ending result. When his daughter joyfully comes with her tambourine to welcome her dad, she is unaware of his promise to the Lord. Whoever comes out of the doors of my house to meet me when I return in triumph from the Amorites shall belong to the Lord. I shall offer him up as a burnt offering. Jephthah recounted his promise to her daughter, and she gladly welcomed the idea. What a brave and daughter. Jephthah carried out his promise after honoring the 2 months time of her friends to mourn her virginity. A courageous response is mirrored in the psalmist's words. Here I am, Lord, I come to do your will. In contrast, the psalmist's words did not reflect the response of those invited in the gospel. Instead, it was met with disappointment that those first invited did not respond without some reservations. The host will have to extend his invitations to people on the street corners to have participants. It speaks to a universal invitation to love. Once we decide to respond, we must conform to the precepts and respond accordingly. Be an intentional disciple. The master showed displeasure with the guests who came unprepared. God's invitation is open to all, but not all will always be ready to respond in charity and generously with their whole being. On the other hand, like the psalmist, Jephthah showed how to keep one's word and commit to it. We must remain committed to responding to God's invitation and disappointment. Reject of or show indifference, reject or show indifference afterwards. Have a blessed day.